come the end of January, early February, we will be going back down to Dublin with something similar to the Love Ulster parade. Now we have to speak to the guards to coordinate it. I have to say the guards were very good, always have been very good. They treat us no different than anybody else. So we are coming back down to Dublin. And the Distance say they'll do this. We don't care what the Distance are going to do. They're a bunch of idiots, a bunch of dangerous psychopaths that need to be dealt with. And I believe the guards will deal with them this time if they appear. But beyond no illusion, we're coming to Dublin. The Irish government have the cheek to take the British government to the European Court of Human Rights in a case to do with the 14 hooded men. Now, I don't know anything about these hooded men, but I did hear them saying they call themselves comrades. To me, that would raise a question about who they are and what they are. If they are terrorist connected, shame on the Irish government for even considering being involved with these people, while at the same time you've refused to engage with the victims in the bothered community. You continually ignored us. And we met with Bertie or Dermot Ahern, and you were to come to our office a couple of weeks after it. That was a couple of years ago. You still haven't come because you haven't got the guts to face the people who you know were slaughtered because your government did nothing about it. Well, if you want to be hypocritical and you want to insult the victims in South Armagh and indeed right along the whole border area, we're coming back down to Dublin. We're looking for equality of justice. We're looking for our culture to be accepted. You people play this card about equality and about justice and about human rights. Well, let's see some. Let's see some for the unionist community in the border region that suffered so brutally at the hands of the IRA, backed up by the Irish government. Listen, we know you give 500 weapons to the IRA in the early parts of the Troubles. You took them out of the Dublin army barracks and drove them in army trucks up to the border. You set up training camps for the IRA to train them in weapons and explosives to come across the border and murder our people. And then you have the cheek to talk about taking the British government to the European Court of Human Rights. You have refused to engage with the King's Mills inquest. We've been fighting for years to get it. You have refused to engage with it. You have refused to engage with ourselves in relation to Gardaí collusion. We were responsible for getting the Smithick Tribunal, and I told you then we weren't finished, that the Smithick Tribunal was only part of it. Now, Gardaí collusion was proven in the Smithick Tribunal, but it was only the tip of the iceberg. Now, people say you're only going back to Dublin to cause trouble. Listen, it's quite simple. The Irish government deal with us. We address the issue of justice and the genocide carried out in the border area, and we don't need to go near Dublin, but they think that we're fools and we're going to sit back and take this. But we're not politicians, and we're certainly not fools, and we're certainly not going to take it from the Irish government. We're coming down to demand justice, and justice we will get sooner or later, one way or another.